accident and which affected the spinal cord, and as a result of that it could not function well. Okay, so there is actually a reasonable ground for that. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mary. I'm a lawyer and a real estate consultant, and on this YouTube channel I share legal content to educate the public, because ignorance of law is not an excuse. If you're watching my video for the very first time, please do well to stick around. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Do not forget to like this video and share, and do not forget to also drop a comment in the comment section. Okay, I started a series some days ago about grants for divorce in Nigeria, and I dealt with one grant, which is desertion. So in this video I will be sharing two other grants for divorce in Nigeria. This is in accordance to section 15 of the Matrimonial Causes Act. There are 8 grants for filing of divorce in Nigeria, 8 grants under which you may file an application for divorce. Okay, desertion is one, and number 2 that I'll be mentioning in this video is the wilful and persistent refusal to consummate the marriage. Simply means that your partner has refused to have sexual intercourse with you for no just cause. Okay, so the word willful and persistent is so important, and before you can say someone is refusing to consummate the marriage, which means you must have made several demands. Okay, so it is important for you to prove the willful, that is, there is no just cause. It will be a different thing if your partner who has refused to consummate the marriage with you, if it's as a result of ill health. For example, there is a particular scenario whereby the man had an accident and which affected the spinal cord, and as a result of that it could not function well. Okay, so there is actually a reasonable ground for that man to refuse to consummate the marriage. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people who will say, most especially from the men, that their husbands refuse to do this, refuse to do that, to consummate the marriage, to have sexual intercourse with them and all that. So it is a good ground for you to file for divorce, provided that that act is a willful act. Okay, that is, the man or the woman is actually doing that willfully, that is not as a result of ill health or whatsoever reason, and it must be persistent. It must be something that has been happening for a long time. Let me share this scenario. If Mrs. B is saying Mr. A has refused to consummate the marriage for about 6 months or for about a year, and she's coming to the court to say during that period of 6 months or 1 year it happened once. That once, and actually it's not possible for that woman, for Mrs. B, to come under that grant. Okay, and I need to mention that these 8 grants that we have for dissolution of marriage in Nigeria, it is not necessary for you to prove all the 8 grants. You can prove just one and you're good to go. But it is possible that when proving a grant, probably you have about 3 grants, it is possible for you to claim desertion, that the man deserted you or the woman deserted you. It is possible to claim that there is a willful refusal to consummate the marriage while the two of you were still living together before this desertion happened. So it is possible, but it is not necessary for you to prove all of these grants. Okay, so it must be willful, no just cause for that act of refusing to consummate the marriage, and it must be persistent. Okay, so if you are in a situation whereby the man once in a while he will consummate the marriage, or the woman once in a while she will consummate the marriage, and later for about another few months or years there will be no show. So I think the best thing for you to do is that when you want to claim, when you want to come under this grant, you need to pick the dates and the month, the year when the consummation ceased. You will not start from probably it has been happening for 2 years, but in that 2 years there was once, there was twice that something happened. No, you need to make sure you prove it. You pick a date from when the consummation ceased. And so do not forget that for you to say there is a persistent refusal, you must have been making some demands. Okay, though these things are quite difficult to prove in the courts, because there are no actual evidence that you can actually bring to the court, like, okay, I demanded here, he refuses me, I demanded there, he refused, and all that. So there is no way you can actually prove that. But oral evidence is actually very valid in law too, though it is not as much as documentary evidence. But here the court will understand that there is no way you can actually prove this kind of points through documentary evidence. So definitely the court will hear you on your oral evidence. So do not forget to make demands before you can say your demand was being refused. Okay, so do not forget that you must make a demand, it must be willful, and it must be persistent. So before you can come under this ground of willful and persistent refusal to consummate the marriage, those three things must be there. Okay, just like desertion, I was able to highlight about 3 or 4 points you must be able to prove before you can come under desertion. So under this willful and persistent refusal to consummate the marriage, you must be able to prove those 3 points. And so the third ground that I'll be mentioning in this particular video, I'll be explaining 2 grounds. So I've explained one, this is its third. The third ground for dissolution of marriage in Nigeria is that when the party have lived apart for a period not less than 2 years, immediately preceding the filing of the divorce petition. Simply put, that the parties, the husband and the wife, have been living apart. They have lived apart for a period not less than 2 years. Not after filing the divorce petition and you guys now moved into separate households, you're no longer staying together. No, that is another grant, provided that this grant can only avail you if the respondent, if you're watching me, you want to file for a divorce petition, you are the petitioner, so the other party will be the respondent. So this grant will avail you if the respondent did not object to the application. Okay, so if the respondent did not object, you're good to go under this grant. And please note that it must be 2 years or more, not lesser. Desertion is for 1 year, that one is different. But living apart, it must be least of 2 years, and it is immaterial who caused the reason parties are living apart. Okay, so it is immaterial probably why the husband and wife are living apart, are currently living apart, is a result of some misconduct from the wife or from the husband. It is immaterial. That fact is immaterial, provided that they have been living apart for not less than 2 years and the respondent is not objecting to the application for the dissolution of that marriage. So basically, I've been able to talked about 2 grants under this in this video, and with desertion that is 3 grants, so it remains 4 more grants to go. So you watching this video, you may be able to identify, to highlight which of these grants you may want to come under to file for a divorce in Nigeria. Also, you will not be filing that divorce, you will not be filing divorce yourself, so your lawyer will be in the best position to also check very well, based on the fact you will present to your lawyer, to check which of the grants, of the 8 grants, will be good for you to actually come under. So you don't need to really do the stress, but you may just watch this video in order to educate you and for you to just have an idea of how a divorce proceeding, divorce in Nigeria, what divorce in Nigeria is all about. So thank you so much. If you have any question, do not hesitate to drop it in the comment section or you send it via my email. Thank you so much and see you in another video.